So Pod A is our lowest direct supervision pod, and then it goes on up to Pod F, which is our highest direct supervision pod.
Okay.
And then we have our Supermax, or our ADSEG area, which is the really worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Those outdoor rec areas too, some are bigger than
All
this
right.
one.
Now, are there any cells that we can look at?
So each pod has 29 cells, total 56 inmates. And the traditional cell is right here. Two beds. They're typically out from 7 a.m. until around 10 p.m. With the exception of head counts and mealtime, they get locked down for a short time. But for the most part, they're out in the day room.
Okay. Now, are they allowed to stay in their cell if they want, or do they have to be out?
They're allowed to stay out.
But most of the time, they just want to be out.
It
Okay.
depends.
Okay.
So we also have many programs inmates can take advantage of.
Yeah, you said that was a classroom.
Right, so we have through the Haven Arrest, our pastoral care is a partnership with the Arrest Ministries. They do Bible studies, have church services on Sundays, have parenting classes, have AA, NA, cognitive learning classes, so just a whole array of items class-wise. So this is Pod B, and they're using this classroom right here. We do, for immigration, they do video court. So
Okay.
this gentleman here is having court right now over in Detroit.
Okay.
So they set up the video monitoring and the court takes place from right here. The court's over in Detroit.
Now, is that just a logistics thing? So you don't have to drive them to Detroit?
ICE has set that up, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, otherwise ICE would have to.
Ferry them back and forth every time,
Right.
yeah.
So as we go up, the classification gets higher. You notice the gentleman that was walking there in the hallway did not have any handcuffs or
There's that
ankle chains or anything, so he was going to Pod A. So Pod C and up, Pod C has to have ankle bracelets on, so C all the way to F have to have ankle. E and F have to have belly chains in.
Morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Has to have belly chains and ankle bracelets.
Okay.
So as we go up, the numbers get higher. So this is a barber shop. Every Tuesday a barber comes in and inmates can pay to get a haircut. It's $10 and the barber usually has a full day here and gets folks their haircuts. Typically the ones that want to get haircuts are either have a trial coming up or they're looking at getting out soon, so they want to have a haircut.
Now, is there
It's
any
cheaper for a
rules?
haircut here than it is on the outside.
Is there any rules regarding hair length or beards?
We
or just
don't
like-
dye any hair while they're here.
That's understandable.
So, and as we walked by here a minute ago, this is the GED classroom.
Okay.
So inmates have the ability to get a GED while they're here. We've, over the years, this facility's been open with a partnership with Battle Creek Public Schools. We've had about 250 inmates get a GED through this program here. So
pretty good.
our community correction staff helps us with many different programs and that we can offer, like the cognitive learning programs, the GED programs, and the partnership we have with Battle Creek Public Schools has really helped
Seems
a lot
constructive.
of local inmates get their GED while here. The fog glass here is a rec yard for Pod G, which is the female pod. So we have that smoked glass because all the males would walk
You don't
by.
want any looky-loos, yeah.
Would be oogling and that type of thing. So as I mentioned, after they're arraigned and cleared to come back to pod or classification, this is a classification area. They might be in here for anywhere from 24 hours to 72 hours. And during their time stay here, it's a continual, ongoing classification process. If they obey the rules and are good, they may move down to Pod A. If they have problems, they move up to Pod F or even into X. So
Who's coming out next on their hour and out?
this is, hello.
Hi.
This is administrative segregation control room, which they manage the whole hallway here. And then they have deputies that manage the population back here. So 2 deputies are generally
Because,
assigned to the outside hallway.
16.
This is the highest secured area over here on the backside here. So the folks that are in there are in their cell 23 out of 24 hours of the day. They're allowed out to do shower, shave, phone calls, outdoor break time, and then they go back in. They're reevaluated on an ongoing basis. We don't want to keep somebody in here an extended period of time. Once they decide to behave themselves and conform to the rules, they start getting more freedoms. So this mural was built or painted here, I believe in the late 90s. It was a local gentleman. It's kind of his life story. So it starts out here as a kid, comes here as a young adult, substance abuse, getting arrested, going to jail, starting to change his life, and then sober, free from jail, so this kind of it lines up nice for this hallway because a first-time arrestee comes into intake, gets arraigned, and when they walk back to classification, they have to walk by this on the way back. So,
Sheriff Saxton, earlier you said that there's 600 and how many beds here?
660 is what we're.
Yeah, and how many of those are occupied right now?
Currently today, I believe that I get a report every night at midnight, and that number sat right around 600 today, as we sit today.
How many of those are from, those inmates are from Calhoun County, and how many are not?
Typically, our local inmate population runs right around 300.
Okay.
It will fluctuate from 280 to 350. There is always room for a local inmate if needed.
Okay. You reserve some beds?
That is why the jail is here, and it's my responsibility and the county's responsibility to run the jail for the county.
Okay.
We rent beds to offset the cost, to lower the cost to the taxpayers to operate the jail.
Okay.
So in renting beds, we bring in about, this year will be close to $6 million in revenue in renting beds. Our overall budget to operate the jail runs around $12 million a year.
All right.
So we bring in more than half of the revenue
just
to
from renting
offset
beds.
The cost of operating the jail.
This facility was built in '94. About how much longer do you see this building chugging along before it might need an upgrade?
As you see from the tour we did earlier, this facility, you'd be hard pressed to walk into another 25-year-old facility in this country that looks as good as the facility we just walked through.
Sheriff Saxton, thank you so much for letting us tour the Calhoun County Jail.
Happy to have you.
Thank you, sir.
On this side of the bars.
This side of the bars.